What's up? We back. Today I'm going the Mino Bus. Khorne time. What's this? Yeah, I wanna practice these guys. I feel like Minotaur rushing could be good. In the tournament, I tried a Beastman rush without Minotaurs, and it screwed me over. So I kind of want to learn these other playstyles now. It should be fun. Tournament starts in a minute, and we're doing a slightly different format than usual, where we do a fully generated round Swiss tournament. So basically, like, you just face 4 random people. When they're available, you play against them. And then that's it. Yeah, you just... you gotta go. Peace out, Swan. But yeah. You just wait until the people are available. And then you play against them. Overcharged Egg, what's up? Nice hoodie, thank you. What does this say? University of Toronto. Hell yeah. Did I go to the University of Toronto? No. I went to, well, I don't want to get into details. But, I didn't go to the one in Toronto, no. I got this from my uncle. I think he got it super cheap. But, yeah. Regardless. Basically, you play against 4 random people. And if you win 3 of your games, you make it tiebreakers. Nice and simple. Why do you have this shirt if you didn't go there? Because my uncle found, like, you know, discount University of Toronto sweaters. He gave me a bunch, alright? It's comfortable. You don't get a bunch of random clothes from your uncles and aunts? It's pretty great. But, yeah. Round should be starting. So, I believe, to make this work, I generate the bracket. Then I click Advanced Swiss. Advanced Swiss. And Advanced Swiss. Goblins. Goblins. Rounds have begun. Trying out something new where all rounds go at the same time. If you get 3 wins, you make it to tie breakers. Please message your opponents as they become available. Enjoy. Nice. Alright, so we're up against B6, Pontum's Claw, Adloring, and Grey Salvation. Yo, I'm Khorne. But yeah, this format should be interesting. If all goes well, there should be a lot less downtime. There should be a lot less downtime. So, I'm pretty excited. B6 is playing Skaven. Hell yeah. Cursed Oasis, Rock Fort, and Carcass. I'll ban Oasis. Mino maxing, you betcha. You betcha. Minotaurs for days. It's gonna be so sick. I feel like they're pretty good. And then I can use some Skull Taker shenanigans. I feel like if you spam Minotaurs and Blood Beasts as Khorne, like, I really don't know what the crap they're supposed to do. Advanced putrefying carcass. Swan Chateau. Alright. Does your boy Anticity? Does he know how to rush? We'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be Minotaurs and Blood Beasts. Do I need anything else? Do I want Forsaken? Are Forsaken of Khorne even good? Mark of Khorne gives melee attack. They technically don't need a lot of melee defense. Forsaken of Khorne. But I see like no one actually used the unit. So I don't know if yeah, I don't know if they're garbage or not. That's a small issue. I guess I'll learn. Well, I'll see soon enough. Obviously, we're gonna want some Furies, and then yeah, I think this is as corny as it gets. Just yeah, vanilla Khorne. Here we go. Yo, you guys see the grand finals the other day? Daniken's a beast now. How did he learn so many factions? What a god. I think I could have beat him, but I think he had the advantage. Just based off play and like vibes playing against him. It felt like he was a better player. He just played slightly more cleanly than me. But I had 2 games that were super close. I could have won the Warriors of Chaos one if I played a little bit more cleanly, and I could have won the Dwarf one if I played a little more cleanly. He's a beast, though. He had the builds. Playing High Elves out of nowhere. This guy. Yeah. 2 of the games were super close, down to seconds. So it shows that me, Charks, and Daniken are all like pretty neck and neck. It's cutthroat, and being able to find good matchups is really important. But you know, I did disconnect in my Wood Elves vs Bretonnia one, and he's a Chad. Let me replay it. He let me replay the game. I can't hate the man. I can't hate the man. He let me replay it, and he still crushed me. What a guy. Had to play against Charks earlier, which is tiring. Yeah. I think you know, next tournament will be very fun. I look forward to my next match against the Daniken. I won't let a DC rob me of my honor. Yo, man, he's so good. He learned a lot of factions in a short amount of time. Like, yeah. That's scary, man. Very scary. I wonder if he has, like, training partners or what. Or if he just learned it via practice. I don't know. What a menace, though. Yeah, oh my gosh. Literal seconds for the Dwarf versus High Elves and Chaos versus Greenskins. I had a rough start with him killing my Hell Cannon. But then I killed his artillery piece. And then I got a little bit of a comeback with the Searing Dooms. Man, crazy matches, man. Crazy matches. Yo, I'm really interested to see how far Daniken gets, because every time I face him in the tournament, he just gets better and better. Terrifying. All right. Ready, good luck, have fun. So starting off with 3 Minotaurs, a rather absurd amount of infantry. And the idea is I just have to take a relatively clean fight, like that's it. Otherwise we're just walking onto the points, we capture, and then we just run this guy over, right? Did you rewatch the games? I didn't watch Turin cast the games yet. I really want to. I just didn't have the opportunity. Let's see how this Skaven loses this time. Well, we'll see. I actually don't have a source of terror in this build, but Bloody Onslaught will help me get through. I brought the Cloak of Skulls, which will make Skull Taker ludicrously tanky versus everything here. Couple Night Runners are cute. You know what we do to Night Runners? Sick them with the dogs. Oh, look at him. Look at him booking it. Already turning heel to run. Can I catch him though? Is he ready to keep them safe? Icked Claw is trying to get in. Alright, he's off the point entirely. I think Icked Claw is going to get too close. I will be able to steal the point, though. That's pretty nice. So the idea is simple. It's very simple. Where's that hitting? Nice. We capture the points. We take a roughly even trade by just rushing his face.
We have a victory point.
And then game over, man. Game over, man. Game over. Should take him way too long here. Yo, is he still advancing? He's still advancing. What a mad line. I really want to summon the Blood Beasts.
We have a victory point.
I feel like 1 Blood Beast and then Furies, man. Skull Taker will do great here. If I use my dogs effectively, we should be good. Capture point, getting secured. We got the Minotaurs on the job. And yeah, so now he's just trying to take a decent fight. Like he's trying to uptrade essentially. Holy crap, the Minotaurs though. They don't give a crap. They're just blitzing right on through. So if I micro them well, they should be able to just cycle charge like no one's business and just kind of pop off. That's the hope anyways. We're gonna Bloody Onslaught his dogs, maybe. That could do quite well. We got the Furies here. And then we just gotta keep these Minotaurs on the move. If we keep them moving, they'll be able to, yeah, they'll be able to clutch it out, right? Get some rear charges with them. They're basically my cavalry, right? They're like my heavy cav. Unfortunately, though, some of them are getting caught up by a couple storm verminy fools. I still haven't captured this point either. He's playing on the defensive. So time is most definitely of the essence. I have to capture these points if we want to survive. Value trading could be slightly better, but I still have 2 Minotaurs. That's a fairly comfortable time. We'll have the big ol' Sword of Khorne. Drop coming in soon. Get more Furies in. Lost one Fury to some misplays, I think. Oh, those Clan Red Spears, alright. Okay, so I still have one Minotaur at good health. That's good. And I'll get a Sword of Khorne here very soon. That should be able to get some pretty nice working. Got the Furies here. Unfortunately, still no cap point. But one Minotaur comes back. Alright, I gotta... Yeah, we gotta drop the bomb on something here. That's a good one. That's a good one, let me tell you. Ooh, alright. So we got the bomb dropped. We got the bomb dropped on one of those groups. Unfortunately, we're still in a double cap situation, but late games against Skaven are generally pretty good for us. I just have to be a little careful with my doggos. Gotta keep them safe. Gotta keep them alive. We're gonna keep the dogs away from the doom wheels. Maybe snipe it if we can. Skull Taker is gonna live. And finally, we've gone that triple cap. But has the trading been too bad for us? We'll have to see. At the very least, I can kill a couple doom wheels. And the Minotaurs, they're alive, right? They're chilling. Let's get a debuff on these. He has a lot of Rat Ogres, though. And I don't have that many units. I do still have a full health Skull Taker, however. And we can chuck out another Sword of Khorne if we really want to. I can use my little mobile squad over here. And if he doesn't have anything to kill Skull Taker, I think we're in at least a decent position. Blood Beast should be able to do quite well here. Minotaurs can just cycle charge his poor Storm Vermin. Got more doggos. Just gotta make sure he doesn't secure this middle point to something. A second Sword of Khorne would be great, if at all possible. Oh dang, he's really going for this fight. Do I want to commit to that? Nah, maybe not. Oh dang, that's a spell. It's flancing. There it is. You can peel away from that though. He's gonna take 1 point, but will it be enough? It might be. I do have another big sword though. These Swords of Khorne will definitely get a lot of work in. And like the cleanup squad of dogs is gonna be a menace here for him. Minotaurs are doing not bad. We routed off his dogs. That's good. We'll be able to kill off his slingers here. But he's starting to retake points. Very interesting. Skull Taker's gonna have his work cut out for him, let me tell you guys. Skull Taker's absolutely gonna have his work cut out for him, but look at all this exposed infantry, right? Surely my doggy swarm can handle this little situation really easily. Surely. We'll see. He whiffs a spell cast, that's good. The dogs are getting in there, they're going ham. We can use the Skull Taker to maybe bully Icket Claw, there you go. And while he may capture some points, it's gonna be at the cost of all his value trading, right? Look at that mass route. Look at Icket getting absolutely bullied. And then look at this. That's a nasty pick. Straight nasty. Rat Ogre summon should go down pretty hard here, right? To all my guys showing up there. And then we'll just retake this point. Use my Furies here to get some bullying down. Skull Taker, he's doing pretty good. Rat Ogres actually did hold out better than I thought they would. But he's certainly starting to run out of units now, which I think is really nice. I also have a Sword of Khorne. So that's just Skaven slaves and clan rats. It's not worth chucking out the sword for. Definitely not. Skull Taker though, he's popping off. I did lose a lot of my mobility, but he also lost a lot of guys to the Great Culling. What I really want though is a big old blob with the Storm Vermin. If I can just kill off the Storm Vermin, I'm happy. There's a couple wolf rats over here. Oh, they're not that scary. I do have to shake off this triple cap situation though. And of course, Ikid is still alive. But what is this? Minotaurs of Khorne coming on in. They'll be able to do great. His army's very, very spread out, right? I think he's going to use his dogs to kill my Furies, though. We'll see. I'm going to have a lot of power over on this end of the map. He does still have a lot of flares. He routed off the dogs, but we'll see how this goes. B6, he's a nasty Skaven player. If I can't get my value off of Skull Taker, life is kind of sus, but trying to hold a triple cap against us is not exactly the most comfortable situation for him. He does win on a double cap though, so a man certainly has time. But if I have time to kill off Ikid Claw, and especially if we do actually manage to kill against Ikid Claw, that would be huge. Gonna get a nice little dodge over there. We're gonna kill off the flares, and like, this point's gonna be mine. We're gonna kill off a Doom Flare. I say this ain't too bad. It's another pretty big flensing though. So let's just de-blob that just a little bit. He doesn't have a lot here, but I can maybe go for the center because he just doesn't have a lot. Especially if we keep spamming mass, and if I can get the Storm Vermin to actually blob up, then we'd be good. He has 1 unit of Storm Vermin, 1 unit of Clan Rat Spears. All right. In general, fairly manageable, right? A couple wolf rats here are not gonna amount to much. He didn't get the charge, the counter charge here, so that'll be quite nice. Gonna get a little fade away here with the doggies. Hey, all right, that's not too bad. So I'm just waiting for him to pull in the Storm Vermin. Yeah, there they go. And then I'm gonna hit him with the sword. A couple units here are not gonna steal the point from me, not today. So there's the Sword of Khorne. And that should just give me this point. Ain't no way the Storm Vermin survived that hit. Yeah, there they go. Oh, dang, they're not routed yet. So I only barely have capture weight. Kind of sketchy. So I have the point, but it's kind of sus. At the very least, this far point he shouldn't be able to hold. He still has a lot of stuff. He does have another unit here. I almost wish I used a sword earlier, because I don't have that many. I don't have that much time to get another cast off. At the very least, maybe we can clear off some Clan Rat Spears here. One more cast would be glorious. And we will be able to defend the home point, but we're still on a double cap situation. Unfortunately, Skull Taker here is just not really able to get the He's not able to really get the killing that he wants here, man. You know, he's just stuck fighting an endless tide of super annoying clan rats. I'm gonna need to steal a point soon if we're gonna win this. See what I can get done here. A Skull Taker, he's just bogged down by the endless horde of Skaven. Should be able to get a pretty decent route though. I think B6 has done it. We are almost in triple cap territory. Nerf Skaven, yeah. The too strong. Look at him. Obviously, I just need to get better at Khorne. I feel like my rushes are a little lackluster lately. Like, I gotta get better at rushing. That'll be a pretty decent sword of Khorne, though. All right, and it's all about, yeah, just resecuring that capture weight one way or another. Now, we might even be able to kill off Ikit Claw here. Hey, maybe he misplays heavily and Ikit dies. Non-zero chance, non-zero chance. Nah, Ikit got away. Dang, man, the one that got away, Ikit keeps escaping. What a guy. Ikit Claw is just so slippery. Look at him go. Well, that's obviously going to be problematic. I don't think I'm getting this point then. I think there's too much shooting. GG. Well played.
You have been bested.
We're washed. We're washed. All right, let's see. 7, 4, 9. GG, well played. And great thing about this format, we just have to wait for one of our next opponents to be free. We just message them. And we don't have to wait for the next round. We can just get started right away. But let's see here. Yeah, my Minotaur micro could have been slightly better. Like, I feel like the Minotaurs were okay. He took a very nice defensive position. I could have waited, but he had a lot of Night Runners. Don't know how I feel about the dogs either. My dogs didn't do that well. They got routed off pretty hard. Maybe I just stick with Furies. Yeah, Minos did not pop off, even against the Flayers. Alright, but if I can beat Pontim's Claw, then we should be good. Let's see here. Yeah, he should be free. Ponty, yo yo. We're up next. So I'll send them the code and then we can actually get started immediately, which is actually super convenient. So I have to beat Ponty, I gotta beat Adler and Grey Salvation. Yeah, Minotaurs are a little overkill versus Skaven, especially going for the anti-large variants. If I stuck with the anti-infantry, we'd be goodies. Honestly, Fleshhounds probably would have been amazing though, right? I feel like you didn't have that much for Fleshhounds in that game. They even have spell resist for all of his lightning spam. Oh yeah, I could have just sniped Ikit with Karanak. That's true. That's true. Maybe I should just always have Karanak in reserve in case they have the audacity to bring something like an Ikit Claw. Because one kill on Ikit and we instantly win, right? Good to see you back. Sorry for the tournament loss, but you still the GOAT. Hey, second place is pretty nice. Second place with 2 very close matches that could have gone my way is not a terrible place to be in. Especially because I beat Charix. Which is a pretty nice milestone for me. Alright, Pontum's Claws. Not messaged me yet. Yeah, Daniken played a much better late game. There were a few misplays that I made that were the reason that I lost. So, if we get better, if we're real on point, then we're good. Long tournament day. Squeezed out some misplays, but just a little bit of endurance will get us there. Alright, so Pontum's is not messaging me. He might have started his game against the round 3 opponent. We'll see. Those are the best matches you've seen in a long, long time. Hey, happy to hear. You're trying to main high elves, but without the lions bird spam. Regular army head-to-head fight rosters. Am I cooked? The lions are like your only source of AP. If you want to go super old school high elf style, this is your only AP unit. So like you have to take the Fireborn and you have to take a regrowth caster. And then you just have to keep them alive. Otherwise you die to heavy armor cav. Was that the last major tournament of the year? No, there's going to be another major tournament later. Before the DLC, Turn's going to be hosting. So, very exciting. Incorrupted, what's up? We lost to Skaven. I did the wrong win-loss. We lost to Skaven. I didn't have a fully optimal build, but... I know, I guess with Khorne you do need slightly more optimal builds. I feel like my dogs really did not cook. The Minotaurs did not cook super hard either. Khorne's a weird one. Khorne's a weird faction that I still have to like... I feel like it's such a different playstyle from what I'm used to. It's really good to learn. Because then I'll also know how to beat Khorne. And maybe be less afraid of them. But yeah, I'm ready for the next tournament. Will be good. Silver helms or white lion axes. These guys are too slow. They can't catch cavalry. If you want anti-cav infantry, you just take spearmen, right? Silver helms don't have AP. They cost as much as cold one knights, but they get dumpstered. So, like, yeah, you're limiting your AP option to literally only the Fireborn. Which high elves used to make work. It's just difficult. You have to be really good at babysitting your units. So just messaging. All right. Ponty's Skaven. Oh, the endless Skaven tide. All right, this time we don't goof around. Don't want to play on Hatchet's oil field, Skull and Deer's Cave. I'll ban oil fields. All right. This time we don't goof it. I think Karanak. You gotta take Karanak, right? Against Ikid Claw is just a free kill, isn't it? Alright, so I want to play on Skull and Deer's Cave. Very nice. But yeah, I'm really hoping this tournament goes nice and quickly today. New Sea Elemental has an Oceanid summon that explodes at 25% HP, which should be fun. Interesting. Yo, I can't wait. I can't wait to show off all the DLC units. CA. Let me at it. I really want to test out the Eagle, not the Eagle Claw, the what's it, Sky Striders, whatever. Not the Sky Striders, the you know what I mean. The Flying Chariot. I want to know if it's broken or not. How OP are we talking about? Very OP? Not OP? Try Arball. Arball versus Skaven. I liked how invincible the Skull Taker was. Skull Taker felt thoroughly indestructible. And that's generally... I think that's generally something that I am quite happy to take advantage of. Let's see here. What do I want in my remaining army? Okay, we're playing against Skaven, so I probably want to adjust my starting army a smidge. And then the reserves. Yeah. Alright, this just feels like a much smarter army versus Skaven in general. Actually, let's swap one of these guys out. Alright. If I lose this, I suck at Khorne. Hey, you know. Sucking at something is the first step towards being good at something, right? That's a quote. That's a quote that I enjoy quite a bit. Craft here. Even if I did get early access, I can't say anything. Yeah, it would be... Imagine I get early access and I'm like, guys, I would like to throw my career right now. Behold, some info that you will see in a couple weeks. For the price of no more early access. That sounds like a bad deal to me. You're assuming CA tourney will include new units? It'd be really weird if they didn't. Alright, time to avenge myself. I have Minotaurs. They have forest shenanigans. So we put on this side and we're good. Ready? Good luck, have fun. The last match took a while. A little unfortunate. Well, this looks pretty nice. This looks not bad. Tourney's probably the Saturday after the 4th. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. See, we're sitting on the Mino Bus. Yeah, I gotta try out Minotaurs more. They feel pretty good. Super mobile, monstrous infantry. Mune Rat Ogre, Packmaster. So this is a much more single entity focused build with a lot of summons. So obviously Karnak's great here, as there is a warlord to snippety snipe. I think we just go for that guy. I think we just yeah, we just beat him up. Is that a warp grinder? All right. All right. So he's brought a warp grinder. I can accept losing to B6. I will not accept losing to a warp grinder. Warp Grinder is a wild pick. It's also quite far behind. So I should be able to get in here and take a fight. Slow reinforcements will kind of do that to you. And then I'll get the Khorne in. It'll be clutch. Actually, recapture this faster. If I, yeah, I'll recapture it faster if I let him capture it first. But if I don't let him capture it, he doesn't get tickets. Kind of depends on what you're looking for, I guess. But yeah, I got some infantry here. And the great thing about Khorne is he just doesn't really give a crap. I mean, not Khorne, the Skull Taker. Skull Taker doesn't really care that much about this. Okay, maybe he cares a little bit about the Warp Grinders. Is he really going for this though? He's really going for it. Well, if I can just snipe his lord here, that would be sick. We got the wolf howl on his face. Yeah, you're right about Khorne. He's pretty insane. Skull Taker's giving a huge melee boost too. Overall damage on my end is not especially high. Wait, Death Runners? Death Runners shouldn't do super good versus my doggos. Now that he's already popped his abilities on these Warp Grinders, we should just be able to run him down, right? Just gotta be a little careful about them Death Runners. We'll sick another dog on him. But if the guy loses his lord, it's pretty over. At least as far as I'm concerned. And indeed, the hunting was a success. Oh yeah, Khorne's kind of hype. Khorne's kind of cool. All right. Maybe I have a new appreciation for this guy. I was not super sold on Khorne before. But his ability to just win the game is kind of good. It's kind of good. He ain't too bad, I'd say. Got him to proc his Warp Grinder over there. That's nice. Goodbye, Lordy. That's gonna mean the Skaven leadership is down the drain. He routed off his other character. His Packmaster's gone. Packmaster's kind of sketchy because everything has fire damage and he's weak to fire. So he's just gonna naturally be not quite as good as you might want to be. They'll go with the doggies. Khorne's clutching it. Get over here, you plague priest. Net him down. Hell yeah. Yo, these nets are hype. These nets are pretty hype, I dare say. Obviously, my opponent's build is not nearly as good as B6's. But yeah, not terrible. More Warp Grinders, yeah. The dread Warp Grinder spam. All right. I redeemed myself at least mildly versus Skaven. And that's going to get us our second win versus Pontum's Claw. So that was Khorne versus Skaven. Nice. Has Ponty ever won a match versus me? I think he has before. I think he has. Let's see here. Yeah, this time the Minotaurs did cook. B6 has the strats though. Like B6 really knows what he's doing. Let's see here. Holy, no value. Oh my god, these guys did nothing. Plague monks are hot garbage. The mutant rat ogre is like the only thing about his build that did anything. The warp grinders do? Holy. Oh my god, bro. It's a massacre. It's almost as bad as me versus B6. Brutality. And now we wait for Adler, who should be done soon. Slow down, you're winning too fast. I lost my first game. I don't know what you're talking about. Man, poor Ponty, man. We see him so often. You think Chark should have won game 1, Warriors of Chaos versus Tomb Kings? Eh. The map was really big and my build had a huge advantage. I think it got close because he played well. Like, he played it really well towards the end. But I was pretty comfortable. Like, his back point was still captured. It was not as close as my games versus Danican. So I don't think that's the game. I think there were a couple other ones, though, that Charks probably should have won, though. And we're back. Can warp grinders be used for anything? No. The answer is no. You would have to, your opponent would have to misplay extremely hard for warp grinders to do anything. Because you know, every time their ability runs out, you know what happens, right? They just die. There's another unit that kind of does its thing and then dies. We all know it, right? And it's not very good. Beating high elves with Way Watchers was crazy. That was a good game. That was a solid game, man. Although I did luck out by having Tempest. Being able to two-shot his Lord with Tempest was a massive advantage. But it made the game very one-sided in my favor. Yeah, that was jokes though, man. Dude, the Tempest murdering? Oh my god. Kite v Kite is definitely my most comfortable matchup. Kiting melee is really good for me. I do really bad when it comes to aggressive playstyles. I just like don't know, you know, what rush is winning as much as a lot of other people. Like I when I rush, it's not like a calculated thing unless I'm playing Slaanesh. When I'm playing Slaanesh, I know I'm gonna win because it's Slaanesh. But everyone banned my Slaanesh. What butts? I can't believe them. They finally figured out that I am indeed a Slaanesh main and not like an Empire or Kislev main. That's how I won the last tournaments. If I got to play Slaanesh, it would have been sick. Would have been sick, man. Yeah, Danican didn't let me get Wood Elves, which is really nice. I really wanted to try Wood Elves versus Grand Cathay. But there were other matchups that felt like they should have been better. That Beastman game, though, was a throw, though. Beastman versus Kislev, that was real bad. But hey, it means that, like, he's not unbeatable. I remember when I was facing Falcon back in the day, I was like, this guy, I don't even know how I'm supposed to beat him. He felt untouchable. Danican, he bleeds. Like, you know, I think if we play it 10 times, a best of 5, 10 times in a row, I think I beat him in a best of 5, like 40% of the time. Maybe more once I actually get a better feel of his playstyle. one really big thing is that he started whipping out factions that I never seen him play before. Like his Dark Elves, I know what he's gonna do, right? His Greenskins, like, I don't really know what to expect. One thing about Charks is, like, I know he's gonna play High Elves. And he's gonna try and, like, shoot me up, right? He's gonna bring some skirmishers. I can read the man. Daniken is evolving faster than I can process. It's crazy. Full on anime. Yeah, he has the youth energy. Freaking out. He's exploiting my oldness. Some people in turn stream were saying it should have been a 3-0 Danny win. I think, you know, the Wood Elf game that he let me replay. The first game I played worse. It was gonna be very close. It would have been a nail biter. If we do take it at face value though, which I think is fine, 3-0 Danny, you end up with 3 nail biter games. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Beastman is Team Slanesh. More expensive Hellstriders. Yeah. Anyways, we're just waiting on our opponent here. The second round of the bracket is already on its way to completing itself. But yeah, there's like that stuff. I should probably learn Chaos Dwarves and the like. Yeah, the first game I got caught in the woods. It would have come down to whether or not my archers can actually get the last point. How will the CA sponsored tournament work? Just the 4 invited people? I have no idea. Details will come out soon enough. But yeah, I think if I have slightly better builds, like it's not too bad. Honestly, the game versus Greenskins, if I just had my Hell Cannon in reserve, I would have been in a much better situation. And the Dwarves versus High Elves game was me just not playing the late game correctly. But yeah. He's good though. Like, I think Daniken is the better player now. I can say that. I feel like Daniken is pretty clearly the best. I think he's pretty clearly the best domination player. That doesn't mean that he'll win every tournament that he plays in, because I think the race is so close. But I could feel in his micro there were not that many misplays. Not that many misplays on his part. Yeah, Terran is so the way it works with CA hosted events, they work with the community to make sure that things don't go crazy. So you don't have to worry about CA being like unprepared. Terran will light the way. We're good. Yeah, Daniken's super strong. I think, because back when I was playing best of 9s versus him, right? Like, I was winning my best of 9s. But, like, he's Super Saiyan himself. Like, the Daniken of today is so different from the Daniken of 1 month ago. It's crazy. It's insane, man. I don't know who he's been training with, or, like, what he's doing to practice, but whatever he's doing, it's working. Yeah, winning versus the dwarves. One thing that he has really good instincts for, better than anyone else I play against, is capture point play. He knows how to deny capture points barely. So one of the reasons I lost in my Chaos versus Greenskins game is because I didn't send one Hellstrider to his last point. Had I done that, I would have won. But I misread that. Danican doesn't really misread those kind of capture point battles on having just enough to capture or just enough to defend. And that gives him a pretty good leg up in those late game situations. Don't sell yourself short. Well, I can say I'm second place. The fact that I beat Charix is really hype for me. I went from being like, you know, it went from being like Charix, me, Danican, to Danican, me, Charix, right? But I've gone over one hurdle. We can get over Danican. How many new PCs can say a giveaway this time? Yeah, just start dishing out PCs to everyone. I don't think we're ever gonna get that again. I think I still have claimage to one of the greatest prizes of all time. So we're still waiting on Adler. Adlering versus Grey Salvation. Yeah, apparently Charix is quite young. Apparently he's a young un. What does that mean? Does that mean he learns faster? His bones don't ache. There's that. I don't know how that affects endurance. Like, you know, I'm in like my late 20s. I should be like prime time, right? Like, you know, I'm still spry enough. You know, as much as I want to blame age, I think the power of get good instilled within me. I just got to channel it a little harder. Just a little harder. I think my best of 5 versus Danican at the end wasn't my best of 5. It was also at the end of a long tournament. I think he has better endurance than me, though. If he wasn't absolutely exhausted by the time he got there, that means he probably has better endurance. Either that or Charix got me... or Charix got me exhausted. But I don't subscribe to the Charix softened me up. I agree. We just gotta play better, man. I can play slightly better. We'll get there. Eastern Isle, Bray Valley, Imperial Road. I'll ban Imperial Road. All right, let's do it. Danican is younger than you. You're gonna be sad. You missed the finals. Did I win the tournament? No, I was second place. Second place to Danican. Bray Valley. All right, so Khorne versus Bretonnia. Relatively simple. Just spam halberds, like. Yeah, that's basically it, right? More or less. Is there really much else that I gotta worry about here? Yeah, the matches were super close. Let's see here. Bretonnia. I have 250 gold left over. What are you supposed to do with that? Anyone know if Skull Crusher is a good versus Bretonnia? My gut instinct says absolutely not. Absolutely not. A lot of people like taking the Slaughter Guard. I feel like he's gonna know I'm gonna take Slaughter Guard though, you know? Are they actually gonna be good? Obviously want all the halberds, right? This might be a fun tech piece though. Yeah, alright. This could be a maybe tech piece. Feel like Chaos Knight Lance is a kind of sus. Oh, this could be pretty cool too, actually. Alright. I have some things. How do you use the Slaughter Guard though? They're so slow and everyone just runs from them. I know, right? I feel like Slaughter Guard are not that much better than a normal halberd unit. But they cost twice as much. Which just feels bad. It feels terrible. But yeah, I'll need to watch Turin casting my matches versus Daniken and Charix. Such nail biters, man. Sit on a point and refuse to die, especially with the War Shrine. Bro, War Shrine? War Shrine plus Slaughter Guard is insane. War Shrine is such a meme for Khorne, man. It's so expensive. I don't care if it makes my units twice as effective. It makes them so much more expensive. Ready, good luck, have fun, Adler. Alright. Let's go. He has Skarms. Alberic. Alright. Two options for Alberic. Either we Karnak or we Sila. Yeomen are not really a big deal. Yeah, they're not really a big deal. No Hippo Knights or anything. That's pretty good. Double Grail Knight, alright. But, yeah, if we kind of just walk on up here, we should be okay. Alberic doesn't really win versus Skull Taker either. I said he doesn't win versus Skull Taker, what a mad lad. So he sends him in. Skull Taker whiffs, so Alberic gets the dodge. But yeah, so we have Grail Knights. I'm just gonna shadow them with my Minotaurs of Khorne. I will then sit in the trees for the foreseeable future. We'll get a Sila and Fingrim. Yeah, I'm just gonna shadow these Grail Knights. Just don't let the Grail Knights bully my infantry, and I don't really see exactly what can be done here. It's not like the Yeomen are very useful here either, right? There's just not a lot they can really do. They should slow him down a little bit if he has to constantly deal with the doggo backcapping him. That should be rather annoying. Can we bully the Alberic? Get some Knights of the Realm to deal with the dogs. We're just gonna chill here though. Gets a little bit of a lackluster charge with the Grail Knights over yonder. Overall, the damage is not very high. Distracting some Knights of the Realm. Some Royal Pegasus Knights show up. But if I simply run back into the trees, there should be no issue. Plus, Scylla can get a... not a rampage. I goofed. I forgot it has a cast time. Scylla is not Scarbrand. Well, that's mildly awkward, but you know, double cap is still a double cap. And I'm distracting the cav here. That's pretty good. But I do not have another thingamajig. Don't really have a lot going on here, right? We're just kind of chilling. Halberds can start making the way downtown. Overall, the damage trading is quite minimal. And Scylla does have a pretty mean dodge. Another Grail Knight charge. Gets a little bit of work on me, but I'm gonna do damage back to them. Alright, this is a pretty sketchy charge for both Scylla and the Royal Pegasus Knights. Can we block Alberic though? If we block Alberic and he dies, that'd be ludicrously good for us, but it looks like he's going to survive, but at possibly the cost of a lot of cav here. This is kind of a messy fight. I don't know if this goes well or not for my opponent. Alberic does get in there though. He's doing his best, but now I'm starting to back cap. And that's going to be pretty annoying. Getting constantly back capped here means that you're getting put on a much tighter timer. Yeah, you're just getting put on a much tighter timer. Either that or your cavalry have to come in here to re-secure the point, which is also going to waste a lot of time. As far as I can tell. Alberic is certainly starting to take some damage, so I'm thinking we'll take some Wrathmongers. They should be pretty annoying to deal with. Alberic lives, and he'll have his Pegasus Knights in here. But overall, the damage is looking not bad. Holy Wardens I should be able to kill. Scylla, though, is taking a lot of heat. Actually, probably gonna die. For your Royal Pegasus Knight, though, that's not the end of the world. Plus, we have Minotaurs back. Plus, we got some Wrathmongers here. Doggy charge on the Holy Wardens is nice. And while Alberic does make it out alive, it's not with without a lot of bad trades. Like, look at this, right? We're really starting to put time pressure on our opponent here. Let's just de-blob a little bit. We'll run the dogs through the halberd so that they don't get bullied. Yeah, those are Grail Knights. Oh my gosh, it's Grail Knights. Get the dogs out! Alberic once again has full committed. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit too much, right? Yeah, he may have the horse archers here poking away at me. But there's really no way I see Bretonnia actually capturing anything at this point, as we have now taken Alberic down to essentially no HP. The Wrathmongers are clutching it out. And yeah, he's even stuck de-summoning these guys. The mounted yeomen, but yeah, even with pretty good cycle charging, it's just a little too much, I think. A little bit of a battle pilgrim summon to eventually get this point, but that's gonna take ages. Let's just work on getting a halberd somewhere in here. Do I need a melee attack boost right now? Not quite yet. Dang, look at this Wrathmonger's 86. 86 melee attack is absurd. That is crazy. Oh, yeah, this is like typically how Khorne games usually go. You just kind of DPS check your opponent. I could resummon Scylla. Or resummon Karnak, maybe. Did these Grail Knights do anything? Only 1,000 value. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about the Grail Knights. I feel like they couldn't have been a little better. I'm actually really surprised Adler did not have more archers, by the way. Archers can be a very effective tool to force me forwards, but I understand they can be a little risky at times, actually getting onto the battlefield without dying. Overall, I'd just say it's a terrible matchup for Bretonnia. Which means if we win the next one, I can then make it to the tiebreakers. Alright, so B6 has to drop. That's totally fine. Alright. Nice. So now we're up against a Grey Salvation. Did those horse archers pay for themselves at all? Let's see. 491, 418, 356, and 350. So technically, if you include the D-summon, they get an extra 250 gold back. Technically, they paid for themselves, but that's with the entire game to shoot. Though, you could... No, because, yeah, you'd have to resummon them. Technically, if Bretonnia could take only mounted yeoman archers, he may have won this game. I guess they did as well as his cavalry, so they'd be better than the cav. Honestly, they're almost the best performing units on his whole army, price to value wise. But yeah, a little bit of an issue that everything's just a little too slow, and the moment you have to actually take a fight, you kind of lose. Though my Minotaurs also didn't do that great. They did okay though. For a melee unit, getting most of your value back is not the worst. Scylla and Fingrim was only okay. Wrathmongers with Chads as usual. And the dogs cooked pretty hard. I like the doggy back cap, but Khorne Gore back capping might just be better. Is that a Bretonnia problem? I feel like you always see the skirmish cav do really well. Bretonnian skirmish cav is usually good for up trading. Like, I would say generally they're good. Just against Khorne, the DPS is super low. So you still have to like have something to clear out the rest of the army, because mounted yeomen are only going to clear out so much. You know, if it takes 2 mounted yeomen the whole game to kill 2 chaos warriors, you still got to kill like the rest of this, right? Taking out 2 chaos warriors is not enough. Maybe you de-summon them and then that's like another 1,000 gold value, but that doesn't help you kill things faster. Which is why generally I feel like the archers, getting a bunch of archers is slightly better. Brackets moving through pretty nicely. You love to see it. Oh, okay. They don't kill a warrior with shields, but in terms of value, each one got like 350. So like roughly you could say like, I don't know, they kill like a Khorne gore's worth a unit for every 2 mounted human archers you have. It's not bad. Like it's not bad at all. It's just not enough. So B6 lost to Michael. Let's see how the points are. See how the points are stacking up. Pontim's Claw has qualified. Good old Ponty. I'll qualify if I win my next match. Michael should also qualify once they win their next match. I think, let's see here. Adlering needs to win. Yeah, I don't know if this system will get a lot of people with 3 Swiss points. So I might add a round, especially because of how fast this format should be. But we're starting off with 4 rounds today just to kind of feel it out. Really close game. Wanted to try some stuff, but sadly it didn't work out. Let's see here. The Bretonnian game? I feel like it was gonna be really hard to recapture anything, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, experimentation will do that. I like the human archers. I think you want horse archers and human archers. I think that's where it's at. Let's see here. Slaughter Guard versus... Man, do Slaughter Guard have anything really? Okay, they have more HP. They didn't even get their value back though. Well, like... They did better than the Knights. And technically, if you desummon, they get their value back. Plus, even if you kill a unit... If you, you know, if you bring a unit down, if you get 75 gold off a unit, they'll usually rout, right? Or 75% of their HP off, they'll rout. So you don't need to get the full cost of a unit to see value. Technically, your Euromen were the most cost-efficient unit in the whole army. Everything else really didn't do that well. Yeah, what's up, Christopher? Rare for skirmish cav to do bad unless you forget about them. Yeah, the real issue with skirmish cav is that they don't pay for themselves until like the 5-minute mark. So effectively, you're gonna be behind. You're playing from behind until that time, and that usually means less tickets. But yeah, since we're waiting on our opponent, I'll be back. We'll be back. All right. Is a Blood Speaker healer viable in any Khorne matchup? I think he's viable. There's a bit of an issue that you kind of want a lot of these powerhouse lords in most situations. I've seen the Blood Speaker taken though, just because it lets you spam more infantry. So, yeah, but like actually using his healing, there's not like a lot of situations where you're like dying to use blood sacrifice. Though in my game against Skaven, you know, if I didn't have Skull Taker, could have gone through the Skaven lines a little bit better. You know what Khorne needs? Khorne needs a Manticore. Khorne needs some sort of easy terror, and I think they're way better. Or maybe I just take the Knights of the Brazen Throne more often. I'm willing to pay a lot just for some basic terror. Well, what if I just take Scarbrain? Skull Taker is hype and all, but like, I need terror, man. I need terror. Scarbrain's pretty cool. His breath attack's actually not bad. It can take 50% HP off a Graveguard. Whom did he lose to? We lost to B6 earlier. His Skaven. I took a bunch of Minotaurs and they were bad. Then I took a bunch of dogs and they were only okay. Gorgon if Chad. Alright, let's take a look at this. Blood Brute Behemoth. It can get ITP. Has really good healing. Like 0.15 is a lot. I feel like the Knights of the Brazen Throne. What if I use like, okay. Think about it. What's better? The skull, or what's better? Scarbrand or a Blood Speaker? Healing up the Knights of the Brazen Throne. Okay, they're a little bit more expensive, sure, but what if I treat this cav unit as my lord? Who's gonna even have an answer for this anyways, right? Nobody's here being like, oh boy, those Knights of the Brazen Throne. And then I just spam infantry and just use this unit to its maximum capacity. Just say screw the Minotaurs, screw the Mino Bus. Guys, I still kind of want to have Minotaurs, but like if I have this guy, just one really big hammer and then a million tiny anvils. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? They kill all these guys with a couple Doom Flayers. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see. The cannot die abilities goaded for Furies. Let's see, where's it at? This is Unbreakable. This is cannot die for 25 seconds. It costs 200 gold. Oh no, it costs 150 more gold. Bloodspeaker is such a strange hero. There's a -4 leadership aura. There's a lot that's cool about him. I don't know if any of it's actually... Yeah, is any of it actually worth, though? He starts getting pretty expensive. I feel like if you're taking Knights of the Brazen Throne, you should take the Blood Speaker, though. Because heal on them's gotta be good. The gruesome display's gotta be good. Strong with 10 or more entities. How specific? 3 uses, 20 seconds. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, let's test it out on some Forsaken. Is it good? Maybe it's a blood speaker meta. Maybe I should just start running the blood speaker. What are we looking at? So he has an unbreakable on himself that increases vigor. Oh yeah, look at it go! Look at the incredible deeps! Okay. So that got wow, that's not a lot. Okay, so murderous extortions is bad, but it is a -8 leadership debuff. Can you actually leadership bomb with this guy? Technically, he has a -12 if you combine the two. And like, it'll probably get its value. The thing is, this guy's probably just gonna get murdered, right? Okay, you got him 74 value on one unit. If you hit multiple units with that. So if you hit 3 mid-tier infantry with it, or maybe some knights or something. And it's -8 leadership. Like, -8 leadership's the actual good part about this. So like, what if you blood speaker rush? You take the murderous oh, not extortions, exhortations, my bad. Murderous extortions. Yeah, so you take this. And then you take Wild Abandon. You chuck it on Furies. And then you blood sacrifice. And then you have the Knights of the Brazen Throne. And then you just pile driver. You just slam dunk them, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Have I been cooking or memeing today? Mix of both. This fellow that rides a dog, good. Talking Arbol. Arbol's not bad. It's basically -20% of Hydra leadership. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I guess like you can get through a front line really fast. Because then you have the fear and terror with the Knights of the Brazen Throne. Is there like a weird death blob build? You'd still get... It'd still be a death by 1,000 cuts though. Skaven will just keep chucking their little throwing stars and whatnot at you. What you could do though is you combine all this with Khorne, and then nothing will stop you from diving the enemy lord, right? And you can silence them and net them. So all you gotta do is dump like all your money on this. You get the lord kill with your unbreakable, unkillable furies, right? You just go for the deep dive. You tear their face off, and then you're good. Is this good? Will this get you anywhere? I feel like the mass infantry with Knights of the Brazen Throne is better, and maybe a foot blood speaker for the cheapness. I feel like the blood speaker is just gonna die. Like, I think you get that blood sacrifice, you get the knights, and then you spam some pretty good infantry that'll hold their own. And then you use the Knights of the Brazen Throne to kind of collapse their lines. They do got that murderous charge. Cooldown of 30 seconds. The heal is never worth it. How is the heal never worth it? Let me take a look. How much does this thing heal? Let me see. So we'll be up against Great Salvation soon. 30% healing in total for 2k damage on the Lord. Wait, Knights of the Brazen Throne though, they have holy crap, that charge. They cost 2,000 gold though, right? Okay, so I've thrown away all the HP on my guy, so that's yeah, that's 10% of their HP back. Okay, so I get 30% back. Yeah, that's like almost the cost of my Lord. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Maybe I just take Scarbrand though. Maybe I do just take Scarbrand. Then have 2 sources of terror. I feel like Khorne needs that terror real bad. Look at that charge though. Wowza. Wowza. Talk about a charge. And then they immediately start dying to halberds. So Knights of the Brazen Throne are kind of okay. I kind of want to try having a unit that I just babysit. I feel like they can get a lot of work done if I really babysit them. Like basically you just reset this. It's pretty easy to get the charge back. You just have to kind of stay in combat for a little bit. You just get the murderous charge again. As they get tired, though, it's not nearly as strong. Oh, yeah, they really rely on this. Huh. Strange unit. You won't be charging into halberds? Yeah. If they're a unit that can sit for the whole game and grind value, I think they're good. I feel like Scarbrand with like his breath attack and a rampage with the Knights of the Brazen Throne, you got a pretty solid wombo combo. You just have to make sure that your opponent doesn't just kill them all. If they actually take a proper fight, it can be a little sus. And then, yeah, just babysit them like crazy. There's one fun thing you can do where you can just micro one unit extremely well at the cost of everything else. But if I, like, you know, just take a bunch of basic, you know, super hardy infantry. Like, these guys ain't gonna die anytime soon. I have nothing to micro but the Knights of the Brazen Throne. Surely, and Scarbrand. Surely that makes it easy enough for me to squeeze out some pretty massive value off of them. And the infantry will just trade. Like, you know, infantry are they're quite reliable when it comes to just trading. Brazen Throne always feels so squishy. They are squishy. Like, it's a babysit unit through and through. The question is, if you babysit them and you don't let them die, will they do well? Or will they just kind of be average? Because I can't afford to have them just be average, right? They got to perform real well if we're going to... Yeah. If we're going to see them cook. All right, let's see who we got so far. Zaturn, Michael, Askar, Adlering. All right. I gotta win this next match. I think Risotto needs to beat Arno to get into tiebreakers. It'll depend on, let's see, Kite and Great Salvation. Kite doesn't have any wins. Great Salvation also doesn't have any wins. So Yeah, if I just win that, we're good. There's meat not included and Pope Patty. Pope Patty's at 2. Meat not included is at 0, so... yeah, it looks like that'll be it. So usually the first few rounds of a tournament will take about 2 hours at the fastest. As it stands right now, it looks like it's going to be done in slightly under 2 hours, which saves us 20 minutes from usual. Potentially 30 minutes. That's pretty good. I think doing multiple Swiss rounds at the same time, I think that's a nice way to do tournaments, you know? We save 30 minutes every single day. Alright. So Gray just finished. Sent them the lobby code. And the faction that they are playing is Tzeentch. Alright. I feel like the Knights of the Brazen Throne are not very good versus Tzeentch. But we'll see. Dust Bowl, the Arena, and Dunes of Cain. I'll ban Dust Bowl. Screw that business. You want to see something forbidden? What's this forbiddenness that you want to see? Wait, did B6 lose his other matches? Did he only beat me? B6 won versus me, then lost, then won. Oh, then dropped. B6 had to drop, it seems. All right. All right, so we're playing on Dunes of Cain. All right. Well, we have a lot of magic resist against Tzeentch. That's pretty good. Tzeentch likes to go pretty heavy on armor nowadays. That can make things a little sketchy for Khorne. They got the blues and the pinks and all that, but they don't have a lot of AP. So I think that already makes things a little sketchy for them. I do have to worry about Changebringers though. Yeah. There's a little bit of an issue where if Tzeentch ever wins the air game, we just insta-die. Congrats on second place. Thank you. Yeah, last 2 games were crazy, man.
Congrats on second place. The last 2 games were real nail-biters.
My goodness. Those were crazy, crazy matches indeed. Let's see here. Tzeentch bullfight. You know, if my Minotaurs aren't getting shot up, they can definitely get a lot of work in. Tzeentch does have a few large targets that I'm gonna have to deal with. They could spam armor. I think like Minotaurs in reserve for sure. But what's the best way to deal with the Tzeentch armor? I feel like they have a lot of random junk they can chuck my way. Probably having some horsemen is a good idea. Main army though, can't really go wrong with this. And then do I want the Marauder span? Pinkfire is not going to be nearly as good against them. Cultist summons. Cultist summons are pretty good, yeah. He could try to go the mobile game himself, but we'll have the Minos. They're pretty hype. Yeah, let's just see how this goes. I don't know, man. Khorne's such a weird faction. There's such a weird faction. There's like very little on the roster that uptrades super hard. Everything just uptrades softly. I feel like you really gotta know your builds, but we'll see what he decides to go for here. Is Valkia the meta choice here? I think you kind of have to bring Valkia versus Zinch so Changebringers don't wreck you. I do have a lot of Minotaurs. I think Minotaurs have really high potential to do well. And then as soon as we're done this game, then we should have the top players. Which means this tournament will finish for a high number of signups, like today. A fairly high number of signups. Finishing the first 4 rounds in 2 hours. That's good. That's real good. And then the real fight starts. The overall quality of our matches is not terrible either. We got some nice players. I dig it. Haven't seen Oishi for a hot minute. Dude used to cook with Khorne, yeah. Seems like Oishi's mostly retired. But here we go. 9 units versus 9 units. I want to really cook with the Knights of the Brazen Throne today. Ready. So I'm just going to babysit this unit. There's basically nothing I have to manage. Did I forget to take Furies? I didn't take a lot of Furies. Whatever. Ground game it shall be. Zinch kills Furies pretty well anyways. So if he has Changebringers, I have Marauder Horsemen. I have Valkia, I have Scylla and Fingrim. And we're just not gonna use Furies, I guess. Oh, my Khorne leaves a lot to be desired, does it not? He doesn't have a lot of units, so going for a early triple cap. That should be relatively comfortable. And alright, Zongors. He does have some Changebringers. He does have Sartorial, Final Transmutation. All pretty normal stuff. Now to kill the Changebringers. Yeah, we'll get some Marauder Horsemen. He doesn't have a lot. Deal with Marauder Horsemen, that's good. Unfortunately, just a wee bit of lag, but we'll live. And Valkia is going to be a menace. She can basically avoid Sartorial. She does outspeed Sartorial fairly well. And my Knights of the Brazen Throne, they're ready to just bully some Zongors. They will happily get the bullying on. And then I guess I'm just hoping my warriors are good versus chariots. I really don't know if my... I don't know if my warriors actually cooked there. Can we brace these guys? Oh, thank goodness. All right. So we got 1 chariot catch. That's good. Okay, get another one of these guys. Gonna make Valkia invulnerable. She continues to bully the Changebringers. If she gets caught by the Furies, it's actually not a huge problem either. Because Valkia can do this. So we just land with her. Oh, there we go.
Keep it
and then
from
take
the
back up into the sky, she can avoid. She can avoid the Fury surround and do pretty well there. I think my horsemen are just better than the enemy horsemen because they have frenzy.
Valkyria the Bloody.
So that's pretty nice. And then with our third horseman on the field, these Changebringers, they shouldn't be able to get too much done.
Witness
In
my
theory.
strength.
Can we get a brace? Got a little bit of lag, but we'll live. So far so good though. Knights of Brazen Throne, they're certainly cooking pretty hard. That's another wondrous charge on the Knights.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Valkyria is gonna have to dip again.
Fight.
Those are not Furies, those are Doom Knights.
Valkyria the
So
Bloody.
Valkyria absolutely is gonna have to dip pretty hard over there. Come on, Valkyria.
Make
Okay,
it
so she's
go.
back up in the skies, but
Incidental.
once again, it's just a little sketch. And he got a pretty decent volley on my Knights.
Khorne shows the way.
Not exactly the best of circumstances, but at the very least, the ground game is pretty dead. My opponent's really only doing well because of damage to Valkyria.
Execute.
But actually securing any amount of territory, that should be relatively difficult for them.
Valkyria the Bloody.
Doom Knights, I'll see if I can get anything done over there. Knights of the Brazen Throne. I talked about babysitting them, and I'm just letting them get shot up by Changebringers. That's not the best of situations, but at least Valkyria is alive. And if Valkyria lives, I feel like there's a chance. We'll just, yeah, get a little bit of a summon here.
Shield maiden.
She'll take up into the skies. She'll live. Doom Knights are actually somehow chasing her. I don't even know how that's possible. But at the end of the day, the Changebringers can only do so much. Furies here don't do super well versus my horsemen, as they should have bonus versus infantry. Run, Valkyria, run! Run! Pretty nasty final transportation too, but I got the triple cap. We're feeling pretty comfortable here.
Valkyria the Bloody.
So yeah, Berserk is quite good with Khorne. But yeah, no more Doom Knights is pretty good.
Kill.
Gotta be a little careful about that big shot incoming. I'm feeling pretty fine. Valkyria's getting in there. She's gonna get a little hokey poke. Oh! Got the shield just in time. Thank goodness for that one. And I even still have my Knights of the Brazen Throne alive, which is good for me. Now Valkyria just has to flee the scene once again from the Sartorial.
One of your units has
To
been
be honest though,
destroyed.
even if she dies, I'm not that sad, because actually resecuring points is nigh impossible for him now. My opponent basically lost all their capture weight, and the Changebringers have lost enough entities and ammunition here where I just don't think they'll be able to do too well, but we'll see. Changebringers can get a lot of work done with not a lot of ammo. You have to be at least a little wary of them. Unfortunately, the lag is going to be making things a little rough, but we'll get there. I think we got this match in the bag. We got it all bagged up. I still got my Knights. Ain't no capture weight coming here in the slightest. There go those guys. Furies are all dead. And then Valkyria, the ultimate distraction core, is going great. There's another final transportation though. Don't want it to hit my Minotaurs. We'll save them.
Swiftly.
Changebringers and Minotaurs. Thankfully, they're targeting my infantry. They did get a lot of shots off, so they did pay for themselves, which is pretty nasty. But I don't think they actually killed any of the prime targets outside of the Brazen Throne Knights. Valkia, against all odds, has survived too. She survived the test of the gods. Flanks are secure, so even if her flanks get unsecured, we'll still be good. And my opponent only has a little bit of time left. They only have a little bit of time left to throw off this triple cap. I doubt they'll be able to secure a point in the next 2 minutes. Not with these Minotaurs here, just chopping apart Zongors. Then he'll have to desummon his Changebringers, which will take a hot second. I think we're good easy. Unfortunately, Valkyria did rout. Oh, exposed flank is the leadership debuff. Well, it's gonna be a little painful. At the end of the day, I think we just still have a little too much, especially with the Knights of the Brazen Throne here. Obviously, Sartorial, we're never gonna kill him really, but his actual clear rate of everything is pretty slow. Should not be a big deal. Man, the lag though. The lag's rough. Look at that though. Minotaurs are in, so they get the charge bonus. They're gonna chop away a little bit. And I think they're a really high micro unit. They'll do better if I make use of them properly here. And just continuously cycle charge with them instead of just leaving them in the fight. They have 45 charge bonus, which is basically cavalry levels of charge bonus. Might as well make use of it. I shall also make him unkillable. Relentless Rage, a pretty solid ability. It's gonna help out a lot, and my opponent taps out. Very nice. Not the worst. Not the worst. All right. So that was Khorne versus Tzeentch. Nice. And that means that the bracket is basically done. Yeah, the bracket's done. So we can actually get into the top 4 immediately. Or at least tiebreakers. Tiebreakers. Left is top bracket. So let's see here. It's gonna be, yeah, 4 people facing off at Zeturn, at Risotto. Stand by. And then it's gonna be at Michael versus at Adler. And then it's gonna be at Anticity versus Azek. All right. Yo, we're up for tiebreakers. I'm Khorne. All right. Knights of the Brazen Throne did not bad. Valkia was just there to harass the Changebringers a bit, make their value trading a little slower. Overall, I'd say I do kind of like the Knights of the Brazen Throne. I think my opponent could have won though if he just really dominated the air game. Also, how am I getting hungry? Oh my goodness. I'll do the map banes and then I'll grab some milk. And these dwarves. Ooh, okay. This is a good time for Knights of the Brazen Throne and Minotaurs. Dwarves are pretty bad versus that, right? If it just micro really well, we should be good. Alright, so he's dwarves. So let's grab this. I'll ban Swamp. Wait, which one's Creeping Swamp? Creeping Swamp. Yeah, I'll ban Creeping Swamp. Rapturous Expanse or Lost Temple. That should be good. Oh, apparently there's someone that could actually still make it to the top 4.
Even placing second for season, you're still my king in the north.
Thank you so much. Sorry, 1 second. Thank you so much, Alex FM, for $27.99. Holy crap, that's a lot. Thank you, man. We'll get him in the next tournament. We'll get him in the next one. Apparently, this tournament was just a qualifier, so it's just my training, right? Alright, so I need to get ready for dwarves. But first things first, we're waiting for our opponent. I'll be back in a second. I swear I ate a proper breakfast today. Got some rice, got some beans, some shrimp. It's great. Alright, you banned Rapturous Expanse, we're on Lost Temple. Yeah. Dwarves should be pretty jumpy, right? Just bring anti-infantry and you're good. I guess they might have a Thunder Barge. Do I need Valkyria for a Thunder Barge, though? Okay, I need to make sure I don't just get gyro cheese, though, right? Yeah, Thunder Barge dies to like 3 Furies really quickly. So I don't think I have to worry that much. Probably don't need Valkyria then. Is there a better Lord, though? I could just take a guy in a chariot. With his mighty 30 melee defense, I guess. What do you have to worry about? Against Dowie most of the time? I don't know about you guys. I don't feel particularly scared of dwarves. But also, okay, if this was Danican, like, you just have to get into the back line, right? That's it. Oh yeah, Scar Bloodwrath. In case they take the hero squad. Yeah, he's pretty hype. He has crazy anti-infantry. But yeah, they can sometimes go for like the mega hero squad, but usually if you just jump there, if you can just jump their back line, you're pretty safe. Bloodletters are pretty good anti-infantry, though. I could see a late game Wrathmonger just being indestructible. That'd be pretty funny. Kind of a weird build that I have going on here, but I think it's everything I really need. Has a lot of contingencies. Let's just try it. Blood Reapers are kind of better than Scar for their price. Just take more Blood Reapers to kill the hero squad. 2 cultists. Yeah, cultists are pretty good. I have a different strat though. Let's just see if I can micro this one really well. The secret to beating dwarves usually is just getting a solid timing attack. Do Khorne Furies beat Screamers in a 1v1? I think they do. Screamers are pretty bad. And they're anti-large. Furies are mini. Alright. Man, Alex FM. That's crazy, don't know. Yeah, I really hope I can win the next big finals in a month. But if I don't, that's okay. I do have a lot of videos to make too. I got the recording done. Excuse me. Minor, what's it? Thing I want to bring attention to. We will be putting up the Ghosts Only campaign. I did it offline. Sorry, 1 second. Just gotta do this. All right. But yeah. The Ghosts Only campaign. I actually got a run that was pretty sick. So I'd like to post that video in the next couple days if at all possible. You need to pick up Lizardmen. I do want to pick up Lizardmen. I think I need to learn the rest of the factions and then I'm good. I have a pretty firm grasp of a lot of them. But I don't know. There were a few of Danikan's picks that, like, if I just knew how to deal with niche factions and weird matchups a bit better, we'd be fine. Best monstrous infantry in the game? Oof, that's a hard one. Fiends? Fiends are technically monstrous infantry, not cavalry. You can blame CA for that. He's done it. He bought the barge. Barge and Iron Drakes and Dragonback Slayers. Okay. So I have to be very careful that the barge doesn't use its javelin on my lord. And then we're good. The Knights of the Brazen Throne are pretty amazing. Minotaur should be pretty good.
We have a victory point.
He has 7 units. 2, 4, 5, 6. He has something invisible somewhere. I assume it's going to be the shotgun fellas. But yeah, if I just steal this point, or at least make it so that he doesn't capture it, back it up, and then just hold on to 2 points for long enough, then I should be fairly comfortable. Get some slayers. That's not a particularly big deal. This thing hurts a bit to be close to, but I'm stalling his capture weight. We already got a good amount of damage over there. And Furies will be very nice. Furies will be very nice with this situation. Unfortunately, I got too close to the Thunder Barge, and it is doing kind of an absurd amount of damage. Way more than I should be letting it get onto me. The little hero squad is here too. Okay, I think I just kill this though, right? Can I just kill this? I just sick the Furies on this thing. It's pretty undefended, right? I'm pretty sure I can just sick the Furies on it. It's a little risky, maybe. Sure, he's gonna have the shotgun, fellows. But yeah, because I have my infantry pushing his stuff here, if the Furies just jump the barge and then we just shut down his range units and the barge dies, it's basically game over for my opponent. We'll see what he decides to bring to try and salvage the situation. Knights of the Brazen Throne, they chopped up the Slayers real good. His little hero squad here is not particularly effective against the Minotaurs either. And yeah, it just looks like we just kill him. I think I might have given his ground force a little too much respect, but without a way to actually shut down the Furies, it looks like it's pretty bad for him. He's getting one good shot though. A couple good shots actually. Might need another Fury unit. But hey, if it dies, it dies, you know. If it dies, we're basically done here. Oh, jeez. Okay, he didn't shoot my lord. He shot the Minotaurs. Not bad then. In the meantime, this is looking pretty good. Thunder Barge is mostly dead now. That's very nice. The little Slayer guy making things unkillable. But with the advent of yet another Fury here, I think this ends up being a very decisive win for us. I kind of like the Knights of the Brazen Throne. They're not as bad as I thought they were. They're also like real squish. Like, I feel like they lose HP maybe a little too fast, but they're not terrible. Like they definitely cook not bad. How the Minotaurs do. Minos did pretty decent, I'd say. Yeah, not bad. Hey, Dangler, thank you so much for the Prime sub, much appreciated. This Thunder Barge death is for you. Yeah, Barge is almost dead. Now, it did technically pay for itself. It also led a lot of Furies to their deaths. But his ground force was way too weak, right? To actually do anything. Except for kill my lord, but that, you know, it's neither here nor there. The game's over, alright? It doesn't matter that my lord's dead. He can be dead all day. It's fine. Can you just kill this barge, please? A little embarrassing. But the barge has fallen. Huzzah. Alright, just give me this point. At the end of the day, oh my gosh, he's spamming miners. The miner tide has arrived. Like, at the end of the day, he's still pretty dead. I have a huge mobility advantage. He has no range units. I have the capture points. Life should be fine. And I can kill off his lord soon enough. He should be relatively snipeable. So we do still have a decent amount of minos. This one's though is looking a little rough. It's a little worse for wear. But yeah, the miners we can absolutely bully. Without the barge on the battlefield, there's not a whole lot that can be done here. Giant Slayers are not going to do well versus Bloodletters. So I'm pretty happy about that. Then maybe we snipe his lord. That'd be pretty jokes if we get his lord killed here. Beat him up. Beat him up. All right, maybe not. Maybe not. All right, we'll just back out. Then we get the bloodletter charge. The hammer of, all right. Kraz, Draz, whatever. Okay, that's gonna be slightly nasty, but I have a plan. And I'll have a lord in a second. Anyways, if I just keep cycle charging these giant slayers, they should die. They don't really like taking damage like this. He will be getting in that little unkillable ability over here, but they will die. And I have my lord here. It'll be great. Yeah, look at that little minotaur charge right on top of them. Then get a cavalry recharge. Now the ability's gone, so all of them start dying at the same time, and without a lord, the dwarves are done for. Game was a little messier than I would have hoped for, but whatever, win's a win. All right. And then we're going to advance top 4. G. All right. So I've made it through. Risotto has made it through too. And then we're up against the winner of. Oh no, we're just up against that turn. Okay. Yo, I think we are up. That turn, yeah. All right. And then Michu versus Adler is who Risotto will be facing. Nice. All right. I'm Khorne. And we'll see if we can cook this day. Yeah, Risotto's here. Up and coming player. If they're the next Danican. Oh boy. Too much competition. Too much. Thunder Barge was defended by Iron Drakes, but yeah. Nothing to defend the Iron Drakes. It's really hard to defend the barge and the thing defending the barge. Even though the Iron Drakes did actually get a lot of work done, in the end it was not enough. And it's gonna be Kislev! Ooh, alright. I can redeem myself. I can redeem myself and get a proper rush for once. Alban. Creeping swamp. Yeah, I really need to practice my rushes into these defensive factions. Not enough people go for them. And I feel like it's making my rushes more lackluster, you know? Yeah, I should have split the flyers up a bit. I was a little lazy. I'll be the first to admit. The laziness was absolutely there. All right, so. How do I want to do this? So I'm up versus Kislev. Kislev has a front line that will hold a really long time. Quite annoying if I do say so myself. He wants to play on Expanse, okay. Yeah, they just have a front line that holds for forever, man. If I can capture the points early on, though, and kind of push them into an awkward ticket situation, I think it's not terrible. It's like Wrathmonger shenanigans we could pull off, maybe. War wagons can be a little annoying. Let's see here. Man, I just really don't know how to play Khorne. Blood beasts are good though, right? Blood beasts are good. I think we can all agree on that. Let's just get a good rush. I think if I just get a solid rush, we'll be fine. Just gotta not get rear charged by cavalry 24/7. Do I get lazy when I fight people that are lesser than me? I just get lazy in general, man. A lot of my losses versus Danican is because I don't know if it's like an endurance thing or what, but like when I feel like I have a lead, I don't go full throttle. It's the reason why I lost the dwarf versus high elf game. I just get exhausted too much, man. How do I fight this? Do I just gotta eat butter? I need just calories? I don't know. With how much a thunder barge costs, you prefer more gyrocopters and bombers? I'd say generally that's what I like a lot more too. But alright. Here we go! If he's playing Kislev, I feel like he might want to deploy away from the hill. So I'll deploy at the hill. Eat better and more. It's a tough ask, man. Eventually. Alright, ready. Good luck, have fun. Can we beat Zetern with Khorne? Let's see. If you're in your 20s, you should naturally have so much energy. It's hard to find applications for it. Dang. I threw away my 20s, guys. What does he have? This might be a sled kite. It's either a sled kite or a horse archer kite. No, okay. He only has like 8 units of infantry max because he has Katerin over here. It's not too hard, getting a few dodges here. We got a million shielded guys and okay, it's just gonna be Streltsy. So they're pretty easy to shut down using cultists. So we're gonna bring those guys in. They should be able to cook pretty hard. And the other question is now, do I take the fight early? Or do I wait? Advantages of waiting. I get more tickets. So if I down trade, it's not as bad because we might still win. But minor issue. Waiting means he's gonna poke me more. Now the poking is not that bad right now. So I'm gonna practice some discipline that I didn't have earlier in my Beastmen game versus Danican's Kislev. And just not face rush the Kislevites, you know? I need to get comfy with the fact that we're gonna take a bit of damage, but I'm getting a lead because of tickets. And then we can hopefully force my opponent into a much worse position here. I'm building up with the cultists too, which should be a pretty nice advantage. He does have ambushers though. He's pretty far pushed up. I think we do want to go for the fight. I'm kind of lagging behind on these guys though. Alright, well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. A couple marauders are just gonna die here. I think my first summon is going to be yeah, I'm gonna get some blood beasts in. Gotta make sure the ambushers here don't get too much work on you. At least the cultists are doing great. We are able to secure ourselves a little bit of a point. A little bit of a skew angle, but I'm just waiting for him to use his little ability here. His net. can't really engage before that, because he can just absolutely face rush my yeah, he can blitz my guys pretty bad if I'm not careful. But there we go. We're gonna get a little bit of a summon in. Yeah, they haven't used their net yet. Cultist is gonna have to get a summon in soon. There's the net. There's the net. It doesn't last that long though. Okay, but now we can get in with the boys. All right, Scarbrand took a little bit of heat from it, but overall it looks like he will live. And now we can activate all the Minotaurs and all the everything. We're just gonna walk them in, and they'll cook them up. Scarbrand should be relatively okay. He has to be a little careful that he doesn't just die here. But he should be fairly good. Plus we've rampaged some Streltsy. Overall, I'd say we're getting into the cookie jar fairly well. My opponent's going for capture points, which is smart. But it only works if he uptrades. If he doesn't uptrade, it's not really going to work out too well for him. And considering we've really gone into this cookie jar, I feel like I should be okay. Got that Minotaur charge coming on in. Losing one cultist is not a huge deal, as yeah, it's not a huge deal because he already got his summon off. Just gotta be a little careful with Scarbrando. Keep spamming out the blood beasts, and then life should be fairly comfy. Wing lancers are going down. That's very nice. And with the last range unit kicking the bucket, he can no longer uptrade super efficiently now. That's really nice, but I still have a few plays to make, right? Mostly killing Katerin and killing off the cavalry, I think. That's probably the most important thing. Without range units, at least, I know that Wrathmongers will be really nice. Unfortunately, my Minotaurs are kind of struggling here. I'd say this is a life could be better type situation. It really depends on how Scarbrand does and how my trading goes, but with more blood beasts in on the fight, it's not the worst. Well, we got a couple wing lancers here. Okay, I'll be able to kill off the Patriarch at least, and no more healing. Yeah, I'm gonna save up for Wrathmongers. I think a Wrathmonger late game here will be very difficult for my opponent to deal with. They should be able to trade pretty well. A little bit of cav here is not a big deal. And the Patriarch, he is dead. There we go. Let's get that rampage. So now his Streltsy are shut down. The only issue is that Wrathmongers will take a long time to actually show up. He's still playing for tickets, by the way. But I'm playing for value. So Wrathmongers are in. And it's going to be Scarbrando versus Katerin, which I believe he crushes it. I'm pretty sure Scarbrand dumpsters Katerin. Especially with a 76 melee attack boost. That should be rather painful for her. She does disengage, which is a good sign. We have the middle point and the Wrathmongers are on the way. I think we're good. I think we're good. Just raw playing for value seems to have worked out well for us. Scarbrand, you gotta shut down those Streltsy that are staring in your face. He summoned a Grom. Okay, that's crazy. Grom's kind of crazy. But yeah, as soon as these Wrathmongers show up, he's done for, man. I don't think Grom's gonna do super great either. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it just trades a little too slowly, right? It's gonna help uptrade, of course. Just because I can't really, it's not like I can jump the unit or anything. But it's just gonna take ages, man. Also, this is Khorne by our blood. How's it feel, Kislev? How's it feel to have an unbreakable unit for a few seconds? I bet it doesn't feel very good. Catherine gets chopped, rampaged, and that's the executioner. That's the executioner strike that we needed on Scarbrand. He's gonna keep her in the fight. She gets smacked in the face by 60 melee attack. And that's gonna be game. Very nice.
Unending glory is yours.
Not terrible, not terrible. Not bad. One of the Minotaurs got almost 3,000 value. Mino Bus for the win. This one did not cook. This one never got summoned. I feel like Blood Beast might just be more consistent. But yeah, I like Scarbrand though. Scarbrand feels pretty good. He's a source of terror. It's pretty nice. The warriors did pretty well. And like the fact that he can rampage cavalry and such is not bad. He's a little expensive, but at least it's not. At least is not terrible. So that was Khorne versus Kislev. And now we wait. We wait for the finalists to show up. In the meantime, I will be back in a second. But that was pretty good. We actually used Minotaurs properly for once. I learned it. One more game. It's the winner of Risotto and Michael, probably. You want to try it? You saw what being used against dwarves? Crystal Sanctuary. Crystal Sanctuary is yeah, I don't know. They did make it 33% cheaper. If you don't know what Crystal Sanctuary is, it's a spell. You can get 80% damage resist for 35 seconds. So I don't know. It's 8 wins. It's probably better than a lot of other stuff you can bring. I personally feel like Death Frost is just better though. Because if you Crystal Sanctuary yourself, you can't move. University of Toronto doxed. My uncle gave me this. I didn't go to the University of Toronto. Are Blood Beasts just better Minos? I think I have like sweaters from multiple universities. You know what? Maybe that makes me look good, right? It looks like I'm very well educated. Seriously though, my uncle, I don't know, he just collects like clothing from universities. It's just a thing he does. Lore of Ice is just downgraded Lore of Death. Yeah, I know. Hey, this Ice Sheet. Ice Sheet is, you know, it's a spell. Crystal Sanctuary is pretty jokes versus nets though, but like, I don't know. Like you already have like Flesh to Stone versus nets. The problem with Sanctuary is it takes so long to cast. I guess Flesh to Stone is kind of similar though. They both cost 8. But like, who's Lord sniping Kislev? Nobody Lord snipes Kislev. Like, I could tell you a few factions that would love Crystal Sanctuary. Like Greenskins. Imagine Greenskins could get Crystal Sanctuary and the Lord just doesn't die. You don't have to worry about getting missile spelled 24/7. You can actually take like Wurzag. Yeah. Oh, you know, ward save, I guess it is universal. But yeah, I think if people if they were trying to snipe Kislev lords more often, then I would run the Sanctuary. But I think you can usually do more with your magic. Like, you have to put yourself in a bad situation, right? You have to get netted, or you have to, like, you know. Technically, though, if you know your opponent's bringing a net, you can just eat the net, Sanctuary it, and then you're doing not bad. The problem is it lasts longer than the net. It lasts 35 seconds. Net of Ammontok lasts 20 seconds. So, Crystal Sanctuary would be better if it only lasted 20 seconds. Kinda jank. Nurgle with Crystal Sanctuary wouldn't even save the man. Nurgle sucks. Poor Nurgle. Don't you just overcast it on your army to trade? Like you've seen how much damage units get done in 35 seconds, right? I don't know if you realize, but like most things that do a lot of damage have to move to do that damage. 35 seconds is like 2 shots from Lil Grom. That's like nothing. That's essentially nothing. Now, it can help your frontline hold for 35 seconds longer, but also Kislev just doesn't have a really wide front line, so units are kind of sneaking behind anyways. Yeah. Maybe against some real brutal charges, you can cast it on some Kossars. But like... Okay, think about it like football, right? Think about it like football. Would you rather have a football player, a normal football player, or another football player, you know, for body blocking? He's an immovable object, all right? No one can knock him down, but he can't move. He can't walk, all right? He has no legs. That's useless. Nothing against people without legs, but like... What's stopping units from walking around them? You know, like it's just not, it just doesn't work. How much does Ice Vortex cost now? Isn't it like 25 or something? I think it's isn't it cheaper? I thought it was like 22. You're talking Blizzard, right? Overcast? Holy crap, it's 26. Jeez. It's okay if there's a unit you really want to kill, like in the 1,000 gold range. Less than it's not too great. And Abel is confirmed. No. But yeah, no, seriously. There's so much maneuvering. There's so much maneuvering that goes with infantry that there's ways to exploit it, but yeah. And you gotta remember, it's 8 winds of magic, right? So like, if you compare the magic to like Hailstorm, like this can just kill a unit of cav, right? Like Hailstorm and Searing Doom for 6 winds of magic, just deleting cavalry. That is significantly better than a unit of infantry holding longer so that someone else can do something about the problem. Why don't you just kill the problem? Just get them dead. Maybe against Skaven. But then you need to be on the move against Skaven. In what world do you just really want to hold the line? Because, like, you see this all the time, right? There's a reason why people don't run Longbeard Great Weapon or Longbeards very often. It's because holding the line alone is not super useful. Unless you're spamming it everywhere, like your whole army holds a line, like with Coast. But, like, why don't you turn the Longbeards into Iron Breakers and then they never rout? Right? Because it's not worth it. Like, Iron Breakers will never die in melee. They got 66 melee defense. But people spam miners because you got to be able to shuffle around a bit. Ooh, greenskins. How fun. But yeah, you gotta be able to shuffle. I think most elite infantry we see are quite high DPS, right? Is there any like super tanky elite infantry we see? Maybe Black Orcs with shields, but they kind of do a lot of damage too. Bordello landing, Bordello. One of the best matchups with Tzeentch, like Undead. Tzeentch can Lord snipe pretty well, and Undead really rely on their big chunky Lords. Alright, Greenskin should be interesting. So I feel like I have to run Karnak always in reserve. Because people can just be super annoying with their Lords. Scarbrand seems hype. I kind of dig Scarbrand. Wants to play on Crystal Lake, all right. And then what? You're gonna mention the Black Orc melee defense ability, but let's not send me off on an angry tirade. Already going after the Legless today. Oh my gosh. You know, honestly, I haven't checked out Black Orcs in a long time. Daniken did bring Black Orcs versus me, right? Did he bring the Great Weapons or the shielded variant? I actually don't remember. I don't remember. Alright, this should be an interesting build. Holy smokes. Christopher, what the crap? Holy crap, thank you so much. No message? No message? What the crap? Well, I appreciate that a lot, man. Oh my gosh. Keeping us in business? Jeez Louise, man. Real talk, those 7-foot tall prosthetic legs are OP. Are we talking about Astrogoth or like IRL? Seriously though, yeah, no message? I have nothing to comment on. What the crap, man? Thank you so much though, jeez. Let me just finish up this build real quick. Good job making it to the finals. Dang. Yo, I appreciate it. Second place feels nice. What's 100 Canadian in Centigora milk? Okay, well, let's see. Normal milk. What? It's 3 bags for, what was it like? It's getting more expensive. Was it $8 or is it $7? Last time I bought milk. I'm forgetting. But you can get me a few hundred. You can get me a few hundred bags of milk. That's pretty nice. You gave me the equivalent of well, let's see. Yeah, you gave me the same amount of money that 100,000 views would have gotten me. So if you watch, you know, your donation compared to a man who watches 100,000 of my videos, you have surpassed them. Congratulations. Also, my build is ready. Let's see if we can beat greenskins. I can't believe you resisted utter madness. What? The milk puns? The milk puns are insane. Holy crap. Gets yeah, basic necessities are beneath me now. We're that rich, right? It's like you know, it's like if you ask a billionaire, you know, how much an orange costs, they're like, I don't know, $50. How much do eggs cost? I don't even know. Doesn't matter to me. How much does it cost me to get a man to fetch me some eggs? You think he's gonna bring the giant tech? Giant tech would be hype. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. Streaming can be stressful in these times with CA not releasing DLCs for a whole year. I'm still fine, of course. So that'll probably help me. The donation will probably go straight towards me working out a mortgage with the bank. Because, like, the bank, I need to have proof of income, right? So, like, if I'm gonna ask for a mortgage, I need to be like, hey, I actually have some money. You will directly help me finance, hopefully, a condo in the future. Or we could say the water bill or utilities. You've paid for most of my utilities this month. So all the water and electricity I use for this whole month is thanks to you. That sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Hey, there's a Gorbad, there's a giant squiggle. Some archers, some skirms. The skirms don't really matter that much. Got my Knights of the Brazen Throne. Chilling. I think we do use the Khorne. I think we use the Khorne and then Lord Snippety Snipe strats. Yeah, I got the Wrathmonger ROR in reserve. I think starting with Wrathmongers is a little sus. Because they can be hard countered at times, and naturally we do not want that. The trees, they protect me. But yeah, just some Black Orc great weapons. And nothing too crazy. I think a Khorne Lord Snipe attempt will go ultra hard here. Like just Khorne, beeline it. Beeline it to this guy's face and then just tear him apart, right?
We have a victory point.
Mega Squig over here is not going to be a big deal. Especially when we have the Scar brand on him. Gonna get a pretty nasty cap charge, holy moly. On my poor warriors. But can he survive the Khorne? This is a fairly centered position. Fairly centerline position to take a good fight. I might be able to get a pretty solid charge here on these guys. He's gonna shoot at me. He's gonna chuck a slow on me. Okay, so he doesn't have a way to shut down Wrathmongers. That's good. Whoop! Khorne run! What are these guys doing? Did I misclick? Might have misclicked. That's a good charge, though. Woo! Ho, ho, that's a good charge. All right. Got 6 of Minotaurs on these guys. Scarbrand should be able to do okay here. Unfortunately, a little bit of damage on my boys. And Khorne is kind of getting hunted down. Now, he may overextend with his Lord, though. If he does, that would be bad news bears. Scarbrand's literally right here, man. Scarbrand is itching to murder this guy's face. I have Minotaurs galore, like. Yeah, I'd be a little worried. I'd be a little worried about the Lord. Khorne gonna get that net. Got the Knights of the Brazen Throne to stop his giant squig from getting anything done. And then as soon as this guy is dead, then life is pretty chill. He gets a little bit of a buff, but at the end of the day, Gorbad's a little dead now. Couple shots here on my dudes is not too bad. Scarbrand still has a good amount of health in him. He should be able to duel the squig too, right? Scarbrand should be able to duel the squig, I think. Maybe with the archer support, it's gonna be a little sus, but Lord's dead. I repeat, the Lord is dead. Scarbrand, Khorne, man. Kind of a crazy combo. He tried using buff spells to save himself. But while the Black Orcs are fairly good, I think they're just not enough for this particular situation. Because they don't really have the mass or anything, right? Nor the speed to really help out much. My Minotaurs are getting a little caught up, though. Gotta be a little careful about them, but look at the terror routes. Look at the glorious, glorious terror routes. That's the Knights of the Brazen Throne difference. And then we got a breath attack from the Scarbrand. Let's see it. Is it good or is it garbage? It was okay. It did a bit of damage, which is what it was intended to do. But yeah, with a little bit of a buff here, a little bit of a rampage. I think he's pretty dead. Nice. Black Orcs, though, I must say. Black Orcs are a real menace, man. I think every greenskin player should run like 1 or 2 Black Orcs in every build. I've never seen Black Orcs really do super bad. They always seem like quite the terrors. Another big terror out. Speaking of. Yeah, not bad. This mostly just came down to the fact that I just sniped his Lord, though. It's not like there was anything crazy here. I literally just... he just overchased. He like way overchased Khorne and then got murdered. I feel like this was not like a proper test of the Khorne versus Greenskins. Because like he could have very well sniped Scarbrand too. I would say my Khorne is like okay. It's very, very okay. It has a long way to go before I really feel super confident with them. Like every matchup that I go into as Khorne, I feel like I'm just so low on units. Still a very strange faction. I know they're good though. Like I know they can cook. They just yeah, they just always feel sketchy. All right, he's tabled now, man. My opponent now has nothing. What's Scarbrand doing over here against the Night Goblin? Come on, you got this. Yeah, there we go, big hit. GG.
Unending glory
Hey, nice return game after having a solid break on Sunday. We were able to achieve victory this day. Tournament went by swimmingly. Feel like 4 rounds feels pretty good for the tournament. Scarbrand with the 2,100. Scarbrand's cool, man. I like him. Knights of the Brazen Throne were okay. Minotaurs were okay. I feel like all the monstrous units for Khorne are really squishy. They don't feel like fiends. Like, fiends feel insane. But, like, these guys, they just take so much damage. Karnak was certainly good. He baited him into me winning the game. But, yeah, I feel like if you just take some elite infantry and some skirmishers versus Khorne, like, I really don't know what you're supposed to do. I know the archers can be pretty annoying. I'm usually able to catch them, though. I don't know. Should have bought the meaty giant tech, yeah. Get the giant going. Giant could actually fight Scarbrand pretty well. Still want to see the forbidden tech eventually. Wait, so the forbidden tech, it's to run the worst spell in the game? No, not the worst spell, but it's Crystal Sanctuary. Basically just find a use for Crystal Sanctuary. It's 8 winds of magic, 80% damage resist. In theory, you become indestructible. So what unit wants to be indestructible? Asp, hello, we just finished up the tournament. Seriously, like, what in the Kislev roster wants to not move? Like, basically just the dervishes. Or not the dervishes. The Kislevite warriors, right? Kislevite warriors are really the only unit that just want to sit there and tank shots. I guess you could use it on, like, I don't know. Because, like, range units, they're either in melee or they're not. It's not about the damage they take. Zargard. So, like, you're saying you put it on Zargard great weapons. Doesn't this unit already not take a lot of damage? Maybe bear riders? Maybe bear riders? And you can just YOLO them in and then you Crystal Sanctuary them. And then they'll kind of be awkward to disengage. Oh, maybe something in the woods. Alright. Alright, so you're telling me, right? The secret tech. This is the only situation where I'd buy it. Let's say you have 2 things in the woods. You have an Ice Witch. Just Crystal Sanctuary. If the things in the woods can actually uptrade halberds, then maybe you actually have a super strong answer to halberds. Curse of the Ancient Witch plus mass range. That one reduces armor, right? All right, let's just see the diff. The timing is awkward. But all right, so there you go. Oh, it's a 5-second cast time. Why is the cast time 50 years? All right, there you go. So if you Crystal Sanctuary, you know what? You know what? That's actually kind of hilarious. All right. So you, they still lose though. They still lose, but you would disengage them. Okay, yeah. So it will let them grind for a while. It will let them grind for a while. Maybe you Crystal Sanctuary something in the woods. You can overcast it. It costs 16 though, but. Crap! I cast it too early. The anti-halberd tech? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's such a janky spell to use because it's a 5-second cast time. It's 50 years. 50 years to cast. But yeah, I guess that, you know, it does something. This is better than, like, you know, Ice Maidens kissing some armored units. I think it could possibly open up a weird play that you wouldn't usually be able to make. It's a 2v2 spell. You gotta cast at 18 winds of magic. You just gotta double down. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it definitely reduced the damage that was taken. There's like a funny thing where you can like just chuck an incarnate elemental of beasts in there. You would want the spell to last longer than 35 seconds. I think Thing in the Woods is, yeah, I think these guys are your best bet. You can YOLO them into halberds and they will not die. So like sometimes people will just spam halberds. It's 16 winds of magic. So it's probably better than like, would it be better than just a blizzard though? Would it actually be better than just a blizzard? Or like a Miska? Because like I feel like a blizzard gets the job done anyways. All right, let's just do a quick look. I stand by my words, it should heal. I think a heal would be sick. I think if it also heals, that would be pretty cool. But it doesn't really make sense. Use it on Zargard and Streltsy ROR. I guess, but like they need to be in a losing situation for it to be worth. Like you realize that the spell, you're saying it works if you get in a situation that you shouldn't be in anyways. But like, okay, let's just compare. So if I just chuck a normal blizzard at 16 winds, or no, at 18 winds, and then send these guys in, then the halberds, okay, yeah, so they get routed off, and this halberd unit got 300 gold worth of value, right? So people mentioned, what if you cast Crystal Sanctuary on multiple units? So if we do this, and then we overcast Crystal Sanctuary, and then they jump to halberds, these guys get 144 value. So like you usually wouldn't be able to just chuck things in the woods on halberds. This is like a really specific situation though. Like this is, you need a lot of setup. You gotta be able to get multiple guys in, but maybe you can just do a weird Thing in the Woods build with Sanctuary. I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. In a situation where you have no other stuff, you are not going to have to worry about getting countercharged, and your opponent might not see it. You can just YOLO into elite infantry, elite anti-large stuff, and just be fine. There's a different tech you wanted to show. Bloated corpse. I'm gonna save it for later. I've been streaming for a little bit now. It's been a solid 3-hour stream. I want to get to some editing. You can tell me about it later, Trissic. But I am actually starving. Like, I need to get some proper food, guys. Unfortunately. Or maybe next stream. For now, though, thank you very much for everyone who supported me today. Christopher, Gelgamath, Meet a Dangler, Alex, you guys are great. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And special shout out to Clint, Terry Tarkleby, Pops, Miss New Booty, Thomas Vitek, Michael Phillip, Caculandia, Steven Smorden, Charlie, Banjo, Noble Naldor, and Ogendorner. You guys are great. You keep the show running. And hopefully we can keep you guys entertained for many years to come.